For as long as trees have grown in the forest, leaves and needles have fallen to the ground and formed a natural protective layer over the soil. The same protection can be given to the plants in our landscapes by mulching. Mulching can make a big difference in the success of your landscape. Mulches prevent loss of water from the soil by evaporation. Mulches prevent soil splashing, which not only stops erosion but keeps soil-borne diseases from splashing up onto the plants. Mulches prevent crusting of the soil's surface, thus improving the absorption and movement of water into the soil. And organic mulches can improve the soil structure itself. Simply put, mulching is one of the easiest and most beneficial practices you can use in the garden. But is one type of mulch better than another? How can you decide which mulch is best for you? Well, let's consider the properties of various mulches. Mulch can be classified as either organic or inorganic. Generally speaking, organic mulches are good at suppressing weeds, adding organic matter to the soil, but may attract some insects, and some types may require additional nitrogen for plant health. It will also need to be renewed annually to maintain appropriate depth. Now, there's no need to apply the mulch 6 to 8 inches high as is often seen. Usually 2 to 3 inches is enough. Let's take a look at some of the various types of organic mulches. First, there's bark. Bark mulches are usually made from the byproducts of pine, cypress, or hardwood logs. Most common are shredded bark and bark chunks. Bark mulches resist compaction, will not blow away, and are very attractive and are readily available. Next are the wood chips. Wood chips are made from many different kinds of trees. Wood chips make an excellent mulch that resists compaction, stays put, and weathers to an attractive silver gray color. In addition, they're often available from municipalities or utility companies for little or no cost. However, such bargain mulches may also contain seeds from trees and other plants that can sprout and create weed problems. Purchasing a mulch from a reputable dealer who has monitored the decomposition process to achieve a high quality of aged product will do a lot to ensure that your valuable plants will not be harmed. Next are leaves. Leaves that have been shredded with a composting mower are sometimes used as summer mulch, although they decompose very quickly. Whole leaves can be used instead, but they tend to mat together and block water movement into the soil. Pine needles are attractive and decompose slowly, resist compaction, and are easy to work with. They're often available commercially or for free if you have pine trees on your property. Grass clippings can form a thick mat and makes water penetration nearly impossible. Thick layers tend to compact and rot, becoming quite slimy and smelly. Add additional layers as clippings decompose. Do not use clippings from lawns treated with herbicides. Another option is to use inorganic mulches. These have some advantages over the organic mulches, but also their share of disadvantages. Inorganic mulches do not attract pests, and they don't decompose nor rob the soil of nitrogen. However, they may not be suitable in perennial gardens where plants need space to expand and digging for dividing is frequent. Rock should not be used near acid-loving plants since it may change the soil pH. Light-colored stones may reflect a lot of heat, and neither type contributes to organic matter to the soil. When using rock or gravel and pebbles, think carefully and make sure you really want this type of mulch before putting it in place, because these mulches are more or less permanent. It's best to underlay these mulches with landscape fabric to reduce movement of the stones into the soil. These materials reflect solar radiation and can create a very hot landscape environment during the summer months. Many gravel and stone mulches are made from limestone and cannot be used around rhododendrons, mountain laurels, and other acid-loving plants. When leaves, twigs, and other debris fall into the coarse rock mulches, they're difficult to remove and can make the mulch considerably less attractive. They do not require annual replacement, however. Another type of inorganic mulch is geotextiles. These are fabric mulches of polypropylene or polyester. They work much as plastic does, but allow water and fertilizer to enter the soil. For the best weed suppression, choose closely woven geotextiles. These materials prevent the growth of most weeds and will allow normal water and oxygen exchange. Mulch is effective in flower beds, walking paths, gardens, and a must around newly planted trees and shrubs. Mulch should be applied at a proper depth in a wide ring, extending 3 to 6 feet out from the trunk. Some research suggests mulch rings should increase as the tree grows, an additional 2 feet of diameter for each inch of trunk diameter. As a minimum, the mulch layer should be maintained for at least 3 years. It's also wise to pull mulch away from the trunk about an inch or so. Mulching is a very important practice for establishing new plantings because it helps to conserve moisture in the root ball of the new plant. It increases the growth rate and the health of the tree, and it helps prevent tree trunk injuries by mowers and trimmers. Also, it helps decrease diseases that may be splashed from the soil up to the foliage. For best weed suppression in perennial borders, apply mulch in the early spring before the forsythia blooms. For best results, remove any existing weeds before applying the mulch. Mulching is really nature's idea, but one that should certainly be adapted to the landscape setting.